Hello and welcome to the Mindful Making video podcast. You have landed here in Hornsby Heights, which is north of Sydney. My name is Jane, and this channel, the Mindful Making channel, is all about yarn and about knitting and the calmness, the grounding that making with our hands give us. Before I start, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I am sending this video to you from today. I am on Darug Ku-ring-gai land, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I also extend that acknowledgement to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people or any native people who are watching this video. Thank you for joining in. It's been a while. The last video I recorded on the last day of 2022. Today it is the 19th of February. So a slightly delayed video, and I will talk more about the reasons for that towards the end of the episode. For administration purposes, yes, Mindful Making YouTube channel is about knitting and it's about yarn, and you can also follow my projects and my knitting journey and my little web shop on mindfulmaking.com.au. That is the home of all the activities that happens within the Mindful Making umbrella. There you find links to all the videos on this channel. There are blog posts. There are the show notes for each of the videos. They sit in the section called blog and podcasts. And there I will link to everything that I talk about. And if you watch some of the past videos, or you see something that I'm wearing that you want to, or something that I'm talking about that you want to hear more about, you can search on the website and you will find those episodes that talk about that particular project. On the website there is also a web shop where I sell knitting patterns that I design and yarn that I carry. So mindfulmaking.com.au is the one-stop shop for everything mindful making related. I also have an Instagram account which is called Mindful Making, and Ravelry Mindful Making AU. On Ravelry, I try to keep up with my projects on the projects page. So you also there can find information about the knitting projects that I present here. And you can also buy my designs there. I think that's it for the sort of online admin part. Then I want to apologize for the last video, which turned out much darker than it was intended. It was recorded in the afternoon, and I think the camera probably picked up too much of the sunshine outside and turned me into, or pushed me into a dark corner. I hope it'll be better today. I will try my best to get sound and lights all right. I just record this video in natural light, so no artificial lights is on here. in the room. And this is my craft room in my home in Hornsby Heights. I'm Danish, but I've lived in Australia for the last 10.5 years. I guess if you watch some of the previous episodes, you can see that little talk extending of years each time as you move on. Also, just coming back to the last episode, I showed you some of the designs from a book called Heather Hill. The pictures were a bit dark, so I will repeat that sort of review and a thumb through of that book today as well. Well, I think cut all of the admin sorted. Let's move into the knitting part. Today I am wearing the last finished object of 2022, which is the Tsunami top, which is designed by Susie Haumann. And it's from a little book called Knit for Summer, Strik til Sommer. That book is in Danish, and I'm actually unaware, well, some of Susie Haumann's patterns are available as single patterns and translated into other languages than Danish. I am unaware whether Tsunami is available in English, but you can look on her website or on Ravelry. It is a beautiful texture throughout top, if you can say that. So it has this, it looks almost like brioche, but it is basically a broken rib. And gives this beautiful vertical lines and texture on a very simple tee. I have used Coast, so Holtzgarn Coast, a merino cotton blend that I talk about every episode. This color is Skylight. I don't currently carry this color in my shop, but there are so many more. There are so many other beautiful colors to choose from in the shop. This was from my, the yarn was from my stash, and I used, let me just check the notes. Beanies, Tsunami. So I made size large, and it is knitted in a 3.0 millimeter, so a 3 millimeter needle. And I have used 182 grams of the Coast yarn, which is 1,275 meters of yarn. I have noted here in the in my journal that I enjoyed the knit, although a bit boring, because it is the same patterning all over front and back. But the results is absolutely worth the effort. And the Coast yarn knitted single-stranded just gives a beautiful light fabric that is suitable for summers anywhere around the world. Here in Australia, we are still in the midst of summer. It's quite humid and almost too warm to wear knitted garments today with sleeves. But here we are. It's good though. I really like the V-neck, which has this center stitch moving up the front in a twisted rib, so you have, or a twisted rib stitch, so you have this column just moving up through into the neckline, which I find a really delicate and professional detail. There is shoulder shaping on the shoulder, so it sits pretty well. I have not added ribbing to the sleeves or edging here. I think this edging actually looks neat and finished, so I'll keep it as is. So that's what I'm wearing, Tsunami by Susie Haumann. Moving on to what has come off the needle since we last spoke. Over the Christmas break and in January, I started on a cardigan, and the cardigan is called Moline cardigan, and it's a design by Lene Holme Samsø, and it is from the book Heather Hill. Let me just walk you through the book while I'm here. So Heather Hill by Lene Holme Samsø, it is a new book just released before Christmas. And this is the Moline cardigan. A very simple V-neck cardigan. The thing about this cardigan is the shoulder detail that I completely fell in love with. So I hope you can see that now. I'll twist the book so hopefully the light will fall into the picture and you can see it. So this shoulder detail up here, where you have the shoulder seam just sitting on the slightly towards the back of the garment. And I have knitted a size large, and here it is. The picture or the video might blow out the camera. It's hard to show black colors on a video. It is quite short, so it fits me. It sort of reaches the hip bone. I have finished my version of the Moline cardigan, and I have long been wanting a black cardigan, a simple classic black cardigan in my wardrobe, and I knew when I saw the Moline cardigan that was to become my go-to black no fuss cardigan. It is worked top down, starting at the back, center back, and then this beautiful shoulder detail is worked. And quite fascinating way of constructing that shoulder. Then it's worked through the front and back with short rows and picking up stitches for the sleeve, and then moving into a bit of a raglan shape towards the armhole. And then the sleeve stitches are put on waist yarn or a stitch holder. And then body is worked back and forth. And then sleeves towards the end. Yes, so I worked it back and forth, you know, so knitting and purling. But I am improving the way that I purl. And this was an excellent project just to lean into the slightly slower pace of the purl stitches. So I enjoyed that very much. At the end, the band, the front band, bottom bands and buttonhole bands are worked in one and added perpendicularly to the fabric, to the front, and it's worked in one go. So basically starting down here and then moving up around the neck and then down the front again. I can highly recommend the pattern, and the finished object is an absolute joy to wear. It fits very well. The yarn that I have used is a new to me combination. I haven't knitted with this before, but for sure this will not be the last one. It is a coast yarn held together with titicaca and alpaca, 100% alpaca. And it is knitted up in a 4mm needle as a main needle, and the fabric is just Well, the coast yarn in itself blooms when it is washed. And with that Titicaca, it just gives the fabric a nice body without being heavy or sort of sagging, or it just holds itself very well. And then the Titicaca, the alpaca yarn, gives it a nice halo, slight halo to the fabric. It is warm, but still light, without being slouchy and too relaxed. It's sort of, it's really hard to explain, but it sort of holds its shape. So that is for sure not the last time that I knit in this combination. I have made size large of the pattern. Next time I will go down a size. It's not that it's too big, I think, but just to give it a different expression, I would go down a size next time I knit this, because I think I need at least one more of the Moline cardigans in my wardrobe. And while I'm at the yarn combination for the Moline cardigan, I thought I would just show you a couple of other color suggestions if you're not into the blacks. So I have a little basket of examples of the coast yarns and some Titicaca here next to me that I will just get, and I can show you a few combinations. I went through the shop and just pulled out coast yarns that would work with the Titicaca colorways that I have in the shop. One of, let me just start from the beginning. So if you want a very subtle, neutral, the combination of the color Dove and the Ecru of the Titicaca is an option. For a light gray, we have Potty, and the silver gray of the Titicaca will be a beautiful light gray cardigan. Going a bit darker and a slightly more mild effect you will get from these two. Again, the Potty in Coast, and then it is the flannel gray in the Titicaca. This might be the next option for me, possibly. I think this will be very beautiful. Then we move into the darker grays. So here is another combination which I think will look stunning. It is the lead in Coast and the slate gray in the Titicaca. The blacks we do not need to see, because you've seen that before. And then the browns. Here we have warm brown of Coast and the mushroom Titicaca. This is also a candidate for me for the next cardi or another project. This will be stunningly beautiful. Or adding in the combining nutmeg and the mushroom will also be pretty. It will be slightly lighter in the color. Moving into the yellows. Here we have the combination of Aconite, which is this wonderfully yellow, and then combined with this deep mustardy crown of the Titicaca, I think that will give warmth, additional warmth to this yellow. So something like that. It can also be combined with the mushroom. Oh, nutmeg, sorry. Nutmeg of the coast. This will also be toned down, I think, the yellowish here. It will be a more brown result. Finally, moving into the pinks. Here we have the combination of Heather Rose, which is a stunning yarn, and the petal of Coast. So that will turn out like this. Beautiful, beautiful, soft pink combination. Yeah, or look through your stash to see what you have. There might be excellent options there as well. So see if we can recreate the decorations here. Yeah. There we go. Those were the yarns, and they are all available in the Mindful Making AU webshop. I wanted just to come back to the book of Heather Hills, because there are additional jumpers in there that is on my want to make long list of projects. One of them is Isla. What I love about the Isla jumper is well, it's an all-over structure, but then you have this calm texture here in the middle, and then just everything happening towards the sides of the jumper. This could for sure be one of the next ones, and will work really well. You can use the Coast and Titicaca combination again, or the or combination of Super Soft and Titicaca. Finally, which is somewhat similar, this is the Siri sweater, but here the cabling is centered in the front and then have a beautiful texture towards the sides. So it's basically opposite. This is a raglan sleeve construction, where the Isla that I showed you before is a dropped shoulder. Both of them beautiful. The book here, Heather Hill, is available in so far Danish only. I am not aware whether the book will be translated into other languages apart from the Scandinavian languages. I know that you can find single patterns on leknit.dk, and there you can find the Moline cardigan for sure in English there, and also German and a few other languages. So if you are keen to knit any of Lene Holme Samsø's designs, you can find them there. Heather Hill, highly recommend, beautiful book. And there is something about a physical book to just thumb through the pages and just that tactile experience. Love it. I actually think Isla is on my my list for the next jumper, either for myself or as a gift to some of the nieces in the family, or my daughter if she wants one. That was the first finished object, and a bit of yarn suggestions as well. Then I got a beautiful heartwarming gift from a local hand dyer, natural plant dyer, Erica from by Carola Down Under. She was so kind to send me a sock blank. And what is a sock blank? I will just insert a little video where before ripping it apart or unraveling it, I just wanted to take this video that will show you how beautiful it looked when I received it. And what I love about this sock blank is that you can see the leaves and the flowers that have been used to create the colors. And then it just had this wonderful patterning of that. It sort of looks like a botanical garden. The day I received the beautiful gift, I started knitting. It was just exactly what I needed in that at that time, and I just needed something genuine, something authentic, and then using it in a simple project. So I knitted up vanilla socks, and I had knitted up the full blank, and I have made 2 pairs of socks. Actually, the first pair of socks I made were these. So now I have to be correct. And I used I used a leftover. No, not a leftover. Sorry, I will start over again. So I knitted these pair of socks, and you can see the flowers and the leaves just comes out in beautiful, like speckles in a yarn, and quite randomly. What I did was that I split the when I wound up the sock blank, I split it in the middle, and then I started from the center and moving out to make the socks somewhat similar in the toning and the changes of color. And I think I've managed pretty well. They are not equal or identical, but they are not identical, but for sure equal and similar in the coloring. They are stunning. For the toe, heel and cuff, I used one of the minis from Union Fibers that I got in the advent calendar. And basically I took those that were, had similar tonal, and just looked for what would be perfect for this pair of socks. And I think this green is absolutely stunning. Knitted them 2 at a time, a true afterthought heel, so basically it's a long tube. Yeah, here they are. I casted on 56 stitches on a 2.25 millimeters. These will be socks for my daughter. And I will just put another pair of socks on a on the blocker, so you can see it. This is the other pair of socks. Here they are, both of them on the sock blocker. Again, very similar coloring. I knitted top down. I knitted 2 at a time. And I have used here a Avetta Classic for the toe heel and cuff. Well, here they are. They are knitted top down, and I just knitted 1 at a time, weighing the yarn in between so that I knew that I had enough for two socks. This is a heel flap and gusset heel. And I must say that this is the best fit for my foot. These afterthought heels just become slightly, there's not enough room over the wrist. Is that what you say on a foot? So these are fits very snugly on my foot. These are actually better for my feet. When I washed these, I washed them by hand. I was washing this one as well, and then I thought I will just rinse them together. And of course there was a bit of excess dye here, so these have just got just a slight tint of grayish to that beautiful, you can see here. But that's life. I will wear them with pride and happiness for sure, regardless. And the yarn, the beautiful hand-dyed yarn you can find on Erica's page. She is called she is called By Carola Down Under. You can find her on Instagram. These sock blanks are called Eco Print. And it's a 75 superwash merino and a 25 nylon, so excellent for socks. Hej Astrid! Ja, det er meget fint. So I totally love these socks. It's not the last time that I will work with sock blanks, and not the last time that I will reach out to Erica for additional beautiful plant dyed yarn. She actually also dyed the yarn that I used for the gumnut tee in the pattern. Yeah, those were the finished objects, and well, basically I only finished the 2 socks in January. So in my knitting journal I only have knitted up 480 meters in January. And let me just show you this spread, or it's just a page that I glue into my knitting journal. If you are interested in a copy of this and want something similar, you can find it on mindfulmaking.com.au in the blog section, where you can download a free version PDF copy of this, and you can print it. If you print it in color, you would have the beautiful Sarissa shawl sitting here in the background. You can't see it in this black and white copy. Yeah, 480 meters in January, 2 pair of socks, not much. February hopefully looks different. The Moline cardigan was finished 2nd of February, so it's looking much better in terms of meterage for February. My New Year cast on project that I talked about in the last episode was the Cascade tank top, a design by Rowe. Yes, it is still an ongoing project, and it is thrown to the corner, or sits in the corner hibernating at the moment, because I found it a bit fiddly and my brain was not there to cope with the fiddliness. And now I made some mistakes that needs to be corrected, so it's just sitting idle. But so far, here is the top section, and the Cascade has this very characteristic cable down here, sort of the chest area and the straps for the tank tops. I don't know whether it's called straps. For the front of the tank top. So that's beautiful, and I love this detail. And it's then gathered in the front like a V-neck, and then this becomes sort of the bust area. I have re-knitted this a few times already, and because I didn't read the pattern, my energy was not there, my focus wasn't there, and now I have to redo it again, because first I got to the gathering underarm, so just gathering the body, and then it was just moving down, but then it was just a bit too tight in the armhole, so I pulled it back and I thought I will just knit it a bit longer. But now the front and the back are not the same length, so I've missed something, so I have to pull it back again, and I just can't do it at the moment. So we'll just be sitting there until I have energy and brain space again, because it's completely off. I've done something stupid. I love the texture though. A lot of purl stitches again. But I prefer the purl stitches and then a knit through the back loop, then knit stitches and purl through the back loop. So I knit it from the front, or with the right side out. The yarn is the, I didn't bring it, it's the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. Beautiful yarn. And a bit tricky to knit with, especially during the warmth and the hot, humid weather. It seems that there is a bit of oil. It's not oil, but just and it's not moisture. Oil, oil left in the yarn, so it tends to cling and stick to the hands. And when I brought this for our weekend getaway, I brought this as a project, and I've forgotten to bring my metal needles, and I only had wooden needles, and it was just all cramped and stuck heavily to the wooden needles, and just the friction was just outrageous. That wasn't a joy, but well, here we are. It's good, and I will get it finished one day, but for now it's just sitting here waiting till I have the patience and the energy. Nothing wrong with the pattern, nothing wrong with the yarn. It's probably just it needs metal needles, and it needs dry hands and not humid weather. The next project, I cast it on the day that a new pattern was released. It is a shawl. And it is, and apologies for the black and white, but that is the printer that I have here at home. It is the Kari Miller shawl, and it's a design by Anna Johanna. And it's this wonderful asymmetrical lace shawl, which has this, if you can see that, this spine going down the almost center, and then it's moved to the side towards the end. And I bought the pattern the day it was released because that was just what I wanted to knit. I had the perfect yarn in my stash, and I am on the third lace section. Here we are. Yes, very neutral, muted, restrained colors paired back. The main yarn here is an undyed yarn base from fiberartshed.com.au. It is a merino, 55 merino, I think, superwash, and then a 15 Donegal nip, which are those little nips and textures, a bit of tweed in the yarn. And what I love is that it's just the natural color of the yarn and giving these blue, black, gray colors. And then I wanted a very tonal, calm look, so I added in a coast yarn from my stash as in the lace pattern, and the color here is ecru. So I think the variation in weight of yarn, the coast yarn is slightly thinner than this undyed base. That gives just enough variation between the two sections. So far, well, start up here with a handful of stitches, and then moving towards along here with this spine in the middle. And then in the third section, you get to work one of the sides of this spine in short rows. That means that the spine will just move slowly towards one end, and you will get a straight line at the edging of the shawl instead of that it's an arrow shaped in like it is at the moment. Yeah, I am totally enjoying this project. Worked on a 4.5 millimeter. The pattern actually asks for 5 millimeter, but because I am using a slightly thinner yarn, especially for the lace section, I thought just to keep it together and not be too open, I would work with a 4.5 millimeter. I did extend this section here, adding in 10 extra rows just to ensure that it got the length that I want in the end. Yeah, so moving nicely along. I love knitting on this. When the body of the shawl is done, a lace edging will be worked all around, so that will take, I think, as long as time as the knitting itself here of the body of the shawl. Yeah, and then tassels. I haven't decided whether the tassels should be in a solid color that will mimic sort of this texture here, or it should be the neutral off-white color. So far I am on the first 100 gram of the undyed yarn, which looks like this. And I have a second ball as well, or a second skein that I have wound up and ready. I always think that I knit faster than I actually do. So it's all ready. The Kari Miller shawl by Anna Johanna. Before I leave you, I just wanted to say that, I wanted to come back to the gum nut tea, because there are a few knitting alongs and a few projects that are shown in other podcasts that you might want to refer to. So 2 of my dear friends have just knitted the gum nut tea together. So one is Cookie Knits. She is Cookie Knits on Instagram, and she also have a podcast of that name. The other is Elephant Cat on Instagram. So you can see it. They both talk about the gum nut tea. In Denmark, 2 other podcasters are running a knit along where it's all about being prepared for the summer. So it's knitting up summer tops. And Henriette from Strik og Sludder, and I will also put it here in writing so you can see it, and what that is. They are running that knit along, and Henriette will be knitting the gum nut tea. In support of knitting summer tops, and for the support of that knit along in Denmark, which is called Vær Topberedt 23, you can I offer a discount of 10% of the gum nut tea pattern by using the coupon code TOPBEREDT23. So TOPBEREDT23. Put it here as well, and that is available right now on Ravelry and on my web shop for the gum nut tea pattern. So please use that coupon code and enjoy a 10% discount on the pattern. Welcome back. Yes, a bit of hair change, at least. Now it is Monday the 20th of January. I just had to pause the video, and this was the only time I could get back to you. So I think where I left off were my knitting projects and what I'm working on. And well, basically that took us to the end of the crafty content of this video. If you have watched the video this far, thank you for watching. I hope you like the content, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That would help the channel a lot, and I will be most grateful for your support. I thought I would just give a short update on life in general, and if you're interested in that, just hang on. If you're not, then I hope to see you again in the next video. And remember that in the description box below there is a link to the show notes where you can find everything that I've talked about today. Yeah, life in 2023 didn't turn out exactly as expected. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that my mom passed away in January. And I would like to send out my deepest thoughts and appreciation to all of you for sending lovely comments, condolences and wishes in relation to my mom's passing. she passed away the 4th of January, and I was then in Denmark for her funeral, which took place the 21st of January. A beautiful ceremony, paid tribute to her life in the way that a funeral does. And well, she was an elderly lady. She was 90 years old, almost 91, and she hasn't been well the last couple of years, so we knew where things were heading, and well, a family death always comes as a surprise, and it's a day of sorrow, but it's also a day of celebrating a long, well-lived life. So thank you so much for all your thoughts and hugs and comments and greetings. They warmed my heart, and it was lovely to be up north together with my siblings, and just being together at a time of sorrow, but also a celebration of life. On top of that, we have some additional challenges in the family that we are working through. So basically, I have been and am in survival mode. That takes a lot of energy. There are a lot of tears. And that's why this video is somewhat delayed. And I will try to keep up activities. The shop, of course, continues to be open. There are still plenty of lovely yarn that is there for you to look at, and packing those orders for you is that are cherishable moments for me. I really enjoy, after a work day finished, to go downstairs and just wrap your beautiful orders. So keep them coming. They are a treasure in challenging times. Design wise, there'll probably be a short break. It's just a matter of having enough energy and bandwidth to do those activities as well. That might just out of necessity be put on the back burner for a while. But the gum nut tea is there, and as I mentioned, there is a discount code running. Go down in the description box below if you want to just catch up on that. So that is what is happening on my end. I am soldiering through the best that I can, and I hope, and what I may ask you is to send out positive vibes into the ether, and hopefully they will positive intentions the universe will pick those up, and things will improve. So thank you so much for being here with me and for your continued support. Knitting, of course, is still a place of comfort, and I hope you will continue to knit with me, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time, hopefully in a bit cheerier mood than today. So thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.